Hey gaming fans, so today's another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile, and this one is for the common charity format. And so this format essentially is for, you're only allowed to play with common cards in your deck and your extra deck. And if you have a side deck as well. So anyways, this deck is based on Zubaba General. That's the XYZ guys here. 2 level 4 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card. Equip a 1 warrior monster from your hand to this card. This card gains an attack equal to the combined attack of the monsters equipped by this effect. So he's already got a base attack of 2,000. So what we're going to try and do in this deck is get Gate Guardian to be an equip card on top of this guy to make him a really big, well, he'd be 5750. And then we also have some cards that can help boost that up as well. Plus, there's a possibility you can get 2 Gate Guardians on this guy and make him even bigger. So anyways, let's get to the deck build. So, obviously, we have the Gate Guardian card. So, I put 2 in the deck because 3 might be a little bit too much. And, you know, 1, I originally had 1 in the deck. But I thought, you know, let's go with 2 just to make sure we can almost always get the Gate Guardian as an equip card. And to help us get to that Gate Guardian, we're going to use 3 Arsenal Summoners. So this guy is a spellcaster, which really comes in handy, which I'll explain later. You select 1 card that includes Guardian in its card name and add it to your hand. And it says you can't grab Celtic Guardian, Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress, Winged Dragon, Guardian of Fortress 2, Guardian of Labyrinth, and the Reliable Guardian. Most likely because in the OCG they're named differently. But it doesn't say you can't grab Gate Guardian, so that's what we're going to grab with this guy. We have 2 star drawings. So pretty much if this card is used for XYZ summon, you could treat it as a level 5, which we're not going to do that. And more importantly, when it is used as an XYZ material, you get to draw a card. So we're going to use that effect quite a bit. To help get those cards out, we have 2 Summoner Monks. So Summoner Monk, you just you send a spell card from your hand to the grave to special summon a level 4 monster from your deck. So you'll probably grab your star drawing and then XYZ into your Zubaba General because it requires only 2 level 4 monsters. It doesn't have to be any specific type. So then we'll be ready to go. We also have 1 Performage Trick Clown. So if this card is sent to your graveyard, you can target 1 of your Performage monsters in your graveyard, which would be himself. Special summon it, its attack becomes 0, then you take 1,000 damage, which is okay. So we got some cards that'll help to do that, like Armageddon Knight, who will send him to the graveyard. And then you'll special summon to the field, and of course you can now go into your XYZ to your Zubaba General. And, well, pretty much all the monsters in this deck are pretty much designed to get the Zubaba General out really fast. So we also got Goblindenberg. So when this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower monster from your hand and change this card to defense position. Again, you probably want to grab use your star drawing if you have it. And then we got these guys, which I was talking about earlier, about having Spellcaster on the field. So you got 1, 2, 3. They're all pretty much the same. We're not going to use their effects. Mostly, well, you might use their effects, but pretty much here that if you control, you can only control 1 of each. And if you control a Spellcaster monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is cool. So if you actually get your Arsenal Summoner, which is a Spellcaster out, you could special summon these guys and go into your XYZ plays. Your Summoner Monk is a Spellcaster, and so is the Star Drawing. So all these cards require a Spellcaster, and they just get you that summon. They all have their own little effects, but we probably won't use any of them. I mean, based on the scenarios that might happen. Then we got 3 Ash Blossom, the Joyous Spring. I just put that in there as your hand trap. You could use Veiler if you want. Any hand traps that you like to use that are commons, you can throw them in there. For the spells, we have 1 Reinforcement of the Army, I should say. That will grab your Goblinberg, and it will also grab, who's the other one that's in there? Oh, your Armageddon Knight. So, you know, those are both handy cards. And then I put 2 Warrior Returning Alive. The reason why I put those in there is because your Gate Guardian is a warrior. So if you happen to pull out your Zubaba General, and you get Gate Guardian attached to it, and say your opponent destroys your Zubaba or uses a Mystical Space Typhoon or whatever, you can get it back and go again for the equip. Then we got 1 Monster Reborn, self-explanatory. Grab a monster from the field or from the graveyard, either graveyard, again to help you get back into your XYZ summons, or if you use Armageddon Knight or whatever to send something. Same thing with Living Fossil. I mean, these are also great to reuse your star drawing card. You can, just grab whatever out of the grave and then just go into an XYZ summon. Now, the Living Fossil does negate whatever you pull out, but star drawing's effect doesn't happen on the field. It happens after it's XYZ summoned, so probably won't get it negated. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Then I have 2 Book of Taiyu in here. My thought behind this card was, if it's your turn, you have your Arsenal Summoner in your hand, you could set him, activate his effect with Book of Taiyu to flip him up, and then if you have one of these guys, you could special summon it, and then you'll have your play ready to go because you'll have your Gate Guardian in hand, and then you'll have your special summon one of these guys to special summon, and then you'll get your play all set up. Of course, we have Foolish Burial, just to send whatever to the graveyard. You could send your Performage monster or whatever you want. You could say the star drawing guy. And then I threw in, just to make it a little extra spicy, let's throw in some Megamorph. So like I said, this guy would get up to like 5750. And then with a Megamorph, you're going to end up bringing him over 10 grand. So that's a pretty big attacking monster. Plus we do have ways to, we do have our Performance Clown that will do 1,000 damage to us to make sure the Megamorph will still work. And there's some other cards in here as well. Then we got Called by the Grave, again just protection in case your opponent's trying to use hand traps. And then I thought, well, what are 2 good spells to fill in? I thought Dark Hole. If your opponent has a big field or a lot of monsters on the field, it might be a long time before you can pierce through them, well, you can't pierce, but you could do damage through them. So let's just wipe out the board and then go for our play. Then to deal with some back row, I put in some Heavy Storm Dusters. I mean, these can easily be just Mystical Space Typhoons. I don't know if cards like Feather Duster were ever printed as a common yet. I'm not sure. But I'm sure in later sets we'll probably end up getting some more back row removal. And then for the last 3 cards, Solemn Judgment. Just to make sure you keep this guy on the board. And that's pretty much the build. Like I said, this is all centered around getting out this Gate Guardian guy as an equip card to your Zubaba General and doing some pretty bad damage to your opponent. Anyways, let me know what you think. Throw some comments down below. I always like to hear what you have to say. Hope you subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.